Well, this is the 98 Peace Sport 150. Continue with the modification. Coming up on the list is to clean up some of this mess. I keep everything up here because all the instruments are still working. No cheap replacement for that. Well, this is a free scooter that I've got about $200 in now at least. It now has a plate and legal for the street. So I'm getting a little more road time on it. Max speed right now is 53 miles an hour GPS. I'm not getting the belt on the variator all the way out to the farthest point yet, but it's got 60 series tires on it. I may look for I believe they make a 70 series. This is a 13-inch wheel. If I can find a bigger, taller tire, it's the cheapest way to get a little taller gear ratio, because it still has plenty of power. And I really don't want to rev it any higher than I am. So on the list, these forks haven't had oil since I bought it. They're really pitted bad. I'm sure when they were new they couldn't have been too good. And I don't know if fork seals are available, and I doubt that they'll hold if I put them in. So I'm kind of faced with buying a pair of fork tubes. Keep watching Craigslist for used stuff, haven't found it. But going past 50 miles an hour, suspension really needs work. Oil has leaked out of my rear shocks. So I've got springs and no dampening, compression or rebound, and can be a little scary, but I guess that's a reason to ride it anyway. So what I've done, maybe since the last video, I was talking about this pulse pump that uses pulse pressure off the top of the valve cover. Seems to be working great. At high RPM, I may have to, I have this T here that goes to the airbox. I may have to restrict the out just a tiny bit to create a little bit more pulse pressure. A while back I had a problem because in Florida, so much humidity, the low part in my hose here filled up with water. And so I drained the water out, cured the problem. But I had to add another seat brace here. So at some point I'll get a battery that actually fits in there and I can fasten it down. But that's one of the batteries I had kicking around, and batteries cost money. So just some pieces of plate and stuff that I welded together, moved the tail light around, my registration. I think I have replaced the starter, which I looked and scooter places wanted to sell me one for 40 bucks. I took my chances on eBay and got one for under $15 to the door, and it's working fine. Kickstart does work, but electric start's nice. Kickstart's for an emergency. So as you can see, gas tank's mounted down there. That's working out good. I still want to build a little cover that'll flip up so I don't get so much dirt on top of it in case it sits out in the rain. Water won't be standing in my fuel sender. But thing burns no oil. It'll honestly rev to 8,000 on this gearing, so I think it needs taller gearing. That doesn't come cheap. If I change the final drive gears, it's $100. That's like too much money to spend on this. So that's why I'm thinking of a bigger rear tire size. Or there is a little bit of tweaking I can do on the variator. Get the belt out a little bit further. But that's it. Why? Because I could.